great, and that's where I thought, let us start this workshop. And let me tell you, towards the end of this seminar, I will give you the book from which I took most of the content. So this is a very good book. Basically, this is related to design thinking of kind of advertisement, printing material, etc. But this will be also useful for making some kind of solution, some kind of system development, some kind of product development. If we think on using these tools, I guess it will be very useful. So that's what I thought, and I have taken these tools. So if you understand, you can hold a design in your hand. It is not a thing, it is a process, a system, a way of thinking. Usually what we say when we in engineering, etc., if you see like any software engineer or patent writing person, he says, explain me your problem, give me in writing what are this parameter, what are that parameter, and then the customer will get confused. But here what it says is there is no set defined process. You have to evolve through the given using this tool, various activities in this process. There is no kind of one solution or one activity that will give a ready design. So that's what you will have to think. Whether my screen is visible? Okay, so let me go further understanding what is like how design comes. Design is an iterative process, and design thinking is a present in each stage. It's not like it is towards the end the design thinking should be there, or at the end of the stage it will come out. But it is a journey, it is a process. It is design thinking approach has to be implemented at various phases. So design thinking is present in each stage of the journey, from client brief to the finished product. So right from the initial stage to the final stage. Different solution can be produced for any given brief, and these can differ widely in level of creativity, practicality, and budget. So you have to understand the last three words: creativity, practicality, and budget. So that's how you have seen the overlapping three circle yesterday in introductory section, and that's what we are representing it in other word like feasibility and viability, right, and creativity. So likewise we have to think. Okay, so let me once again brush up the whatever you have seen, the kind of stages. So here again I'm involving this design process related steps. First is define, second is research, third is ideate, prototype, select, implement, and learn. So from each of the stage, if you see in my slide last this thing, in define process you have to make brief statement. In research you will have to get background. In ideate we have to get various solutions. In prototype you have to resolve which solution to select, and then rationalize maybe budget, etc., contemporary, and implement, that is the delivery. And in the learn, feedback, because how you get experience is if you are good at getting the feedback. If you are not good at getting the feedback, you will not have experience, but you will have growth of your physical age, mental age. But if you want to get the experience, even I can say sometimes at early age I got lot of experience because I could get direct feedback and indirect feedback. Sometimes we say facial cues also. So these are also important point you have to understand. So let us understand. I will to say re-understand. So already you have seen these things. Define stage, in this what we do is establishing the what is the problem. And in this case what we do is we make a brief statement by discussing the requirement of job or client's requirement or problems requirement. This brief could be verbal or written, simple or complex. So this brief contains specific goals that is to be made by design. So what are the goals that is to be made by design? And but it has to be linked with various interpretations. So in short, if we want to go in an engineering manner, if we prepare a checklist, so each of the stage I have taken the checklist. So instead of talking philosophically, if you keep on asking these questions, you may get something at the initial phase. That's what engineering people do. We form a lot of algorithms. So I'm trying to make this design thinking in the form of algorithm. So you can ask question: do you understand what is the client asking for? Does the client understand what they are asking for? Do you agree on the definition of terms? Does the brief have any flaws? Can you manage clients expectations? So these are the things what you have to answer in the define phase. Further, if you want to make this brief clear, so you can ask 5 W's, right? And one H question. Who? Who is the client, and what is who is the target audience? It's a size, nature, characteristics. What design solution is the client thinking for? Print, web, video. This is related to video, but if you can have the product or solution or system, so that you have to understand. When will the design be needed, for how long? What is the time scale that you have to understand, and whether it is a permanent or it will be changed over a period, or again continuously it has to be modified. That we have to understand. Where will the design be used? Which country, location, which media, print media, social media, what kind of media? So that where answer you will get some kind of idea while writing brief. Why does the client think a design solution is required? And then how will the solution be implemented? What is the budget? How what are the strategy for distribution, and how will be the campaigning done for this product? So if you think, like, there are three main things: product, proposition, and values. Having clear understanding of product, values, and the proposition will inform your thinking at each stage of thinking process, and aligning these three facets will ensure the targeted delivery. You can see, unless until they are aligned properly, you will not get the desired result. So let us go to the second stage, that is research, collecting background information. So in this collecting background information, there are two types of research we do. One is primary research. For example, you ask direct feedback, direct information, specific data, etc. This is called as, maybe you get feedback from take interview, understand, ask data requirement, and what is in their mind. What is secondary research? It's a very important. It is sometimes becomes quite like important, more than the primary research. So to give you example how we can do the secondary research, suppose I have some product, or some my competitor, some product is there, and client is using it, and so you can make that person to use that. Or suppose I have to design the controls for car, and then what I can do is I can sit with some kind of experienced driver, maybe without experienced driver, new driver, and I can understand how that person is using that system, and through that I'm getting the secondary feedback, what difficulties he found, without giving any training. So if you see, there is a like a window in a wall experiment. If you see in there is a TED talk. So there what they did is they had installed one computer in a wall, and they had just given screen in the computer, sorry, in wall, and keyboard in Africa, and then they did not give any training to the student how to use it, and slowly automatically they started using that computer and started understanding. So that's how you have to understand whether my system will be independently whether my am I making design such that I don't have to train again and again with new features. If you see the whatever newly launched mobile, do you get any training? Like the way we, when we buy engineering instrument, etc., we put terms and condition that demonstration has to be given. But If you see in case of any of such mobile etc, you will not get demo. So that's how our design should be self-reliant. So here what questions we can ask: do you have feedback from previous projects? Do you have statistical composition of the user group? Do you understand the target market? What is the education level of user group? What is the typical lifestyle of the user group? What are the aspirations of the user groups? These kind of typical questions you can ask. We'll go to the third stage, that is ideate, creating potential solution. In this stage, the design team draws a research gathered and constraint established during the define stage. So in the define stage and the research stage, the combination will be done, and this information is used to create ideas which to tackle the design brief. So you will see when we are doing the tools. So in the ideation phase, we will go into the divergence mode. Let ideas flow. We will not restrict, we will not stop. How to generate ideas, that we will talk about. But here, brief checklist is: do you understand the brief? Do you have sufficient research information? That is from the stage 1 and stage 2. Which method will be used for the idea generation? So that's the third important question we will answer. So stage 4, prototype, that is resolving the solution. The ideas, that is stage 3. Ideate stage will generate lot of potential solutions, and in the this prototype stage we will try to go into convergence mode. That is, we are trying to shortlist some of the solutions, and that's why we have to make the prototype. So we have to be very careful while selecting the prototype, or while making the prototype. It is not necessary maybe working prototype, we will see further, but essentially what you have to understand, that prototype should not be very costly. Otherwise you will fall in love of the prototype, and you will not agree to discard the prototype sometimes, and then you may carry forward the wrong solution itself. And that's where we have to understand that the prototype should not be so costly, so they should be easily discardable. And but prototype should give idea about out of the selected solution, what kind of problems are there, what are the learning should come out. So what is the checklist for that? Do all potential solution require prototyping? If not, don't do. So whatever few you need, you do the prototype. What element will be the prototype test? So what kind of prototype level will be there? For example, if you want to make a prototype of my body, so you have to understand what is the purpose of making a prototype of my body. So suppose just for taking mass of my body, prototype will be simply you can take any weight of equivalent to my weight. If you want to understand mechanics of my body, it will be very complicated. Further, if you want to understand biomechanics, it will be further complicated. If you want to understand fluid flow phenomena in my body, the prototype will be quite complicated. So the purpose of prototype also should be clearly defined before we go. And what is so that's the next question: what functionality will the prototype will have? Next, stage 5, that is making choices, select or making choices. In this stage, the point at which one of the proposed design solution is chosen for the development. This is very critical stage. After understanding from the prototype, we are taking it forward as a kind of final selection. The key decision criteria is the fitness for the purpose. Does the design meet the need and goal of brief, and will it effectively communicate to the target audience to achieve these aims? So you have to answer this. Winning design is typically that which most closely meets the design brief. So whatever we have done in stage 1, that is brief, we have written this should be there, that should be there, it should work for this, it should work for this, it should work in this environment, it should work for this audience. So that should be covered. And what is the checklist for the select stage? Does the design meet the defined need of the brief? Does the design resonate with the target audience? So for example, if you see washing machines, it was like invented long back, but people started introducing some new things. For example, uh, fuzzy fuzzy control washing machine. So earlier washing machines, if you see what was there in that washing machine, some kind of temperature adjustment, some kind of flow adjustment, some kind of number of rotation adjustment. But it was, but the layman or the person who is not mechanical engineer or engineer will not understand how many cycles are required. So what the housewives, or maybe nowadays men also wash, I do wash clothes. So when the user has to wash cloth, what are his requirement? Maybe woolen cloth, maybe cotton cloth, or maybe quick wash. So these are the buttons you will see now. It is not the temperature adjustment, flow adjustment, and all that. So it is, that is what you have to keep on thinking, what target audience thinks. uh, can the design be produced on time and on budget? This is very important at the select stage. It is you can in ideation stage. If you see the third stage, right, ideate stage. So in ideate stage you don't have to think this, but when you go for the select stage, you must think about the time and budget. So that's very important. Are there other factors to take into account? That's very important. We call it as a hidden factor, unknown factor, factors which are like beyond our control. So that is like, for that you can read something called as a Murphy's law. So what does Murphy's law say? So Murphy's law says that when everything is working smoothly, everything is going on fine, something is cooking behind you, that is going to make your program flop. क्या होता है when your some experiment is working very nice and some VIP person is coming to your lab, and or maybe funding agency person, and you want to demonstrate that experiment, at that time that experiment will not work. That is called as a Murphy's law. What is the reason? That means you have not taken into account all sorts of uncertainties, and that's where you have to understand that. Has the client signed off the design? So further, sometimes we forget to involve the client for whom we are making this. Otherwise your team has developed, everything is done, and when you show it to the client, he may have some different opinion. So that's where you have to keep in look to the client. Next stage, very important. Up to this it was like a kind of paperwork or in lab. Now we have to go in the field, that is implementation, delivering the solution to the design brief. So what we have to check, has the client signed off the design, the way we have seen in the previous phase, or whether all the resources are booked or planned. Here it is related to printing, so it is asking about the printing and production process. So similar question can be asked, whether printing or production process is ready, has the artwork been delivered to the production professionals. So at this stage you cannot say, sir, it is in my brain, you ask everything. No, it has to be brought it on paper. It should not be in a fluidic manner, the way it was in the ideation phase or sometimes in the prototyping phase. Here it has to be clear cut on paper or in the document form. Has the job been proved against the design? Very good point. So before it goes into production or implementation stage, you have to understand, for example, some software, etc., whether it has been tested, proved on smaller activity. And there also you have to keep it in mind, what will happen if I increase the audience, or if kind of users are increased, that thing we have to get it in done. Has the finished job been delivered? So initially, whether before you go into full scape, whether you have seen the like a finished job. And the last stage, that is the learn. So this is very important. As I told you, gathering the experience, obtaining the feedback, that is very important. This is the final stage in the process, which involve learning from what has happened throughout the design process. And this is very important, because the design thinking is iterative process. May it be a hardware design, or may it be software design. You can see the Windows, maybe I remember Windows NT, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 9, Windows 10. I don't know what is right now. Similarly, I have seen from iPhone 4 to now I have iPhone XR. So there are lot of iterations. So whenever I keep writing document, I say version 1, version 2, version 3. And you have to also think of freezing the requirement at some stage based on the budget and time constraint. Otherwise, if you think of adding the requirement, then it will create problem. You will not able to launch the product. So if something comes beyond the plan scope, you keep on writing, noting, so that it can be used for the upgradation of the product, because things will change, systems will change, and during and these learning experiences will help you to take it forward. So this were the stages. Now we will understand each of the stage. For the important stages, what are the tools which will make the creativity in each of the stage, that I am going to discuss. That is my main topic. Earlier what I discussed was a kind of preamble, so as to bring all of you on this same platform. If some of you have misread, or some of you have not understood, or it was not covered properly. So let us start with the research stage. What are the tools we can use for getting good feedback, good data? So that tools we will discuss. So in the research stage, we have to identify the drivers. So research stage aims to identify the driver that stimulate the target group to act on design, and the barriers that could impede the success of design. So three important points you have to understand in the identifying the driver. One is driver, second is barrier, and third is stimulation. What are the drivers? Drivers are the knowledge and the conditions that initiate and support activities for which design was created. So if you want to get the information, you have to create some kind of drivers, combing questions, you can say, or some kind of like exercise activities, or like, for example, I want to uh, give some solution to the let us say police personnel, and then I'm sitting in my AC office, I'm not even visiting to police station. Then I will not get the idea, I will not get the driver. So what I will have to do is, maybe I will have to spend 1 2 days with police, where some kind of activities, special missions I will have to visit, and there you will start getting the kind of drivers, barriers or stimulations. So that you'll have to do. So this activity, sometimes we call it as a shadowing means you have to be with that person, but you will be like a kind of invisible person, and you have to understand, spend a day with that person, or 2 days or 4 days, and start grabbing the information. Barriers. So barriers need to be identified during research stage, in order to prevent the work from being undertaken in a direction that has little chance being implemented for a technical, legal, or market reason. So we have to be very careful, like what are the barriers. So sometimes language may be barrier, sometimes religion may be barrier, sometimes environment may be the barrier. So that's a very important thing you have to understand. Maybe population size, maybe kind of the GDP, or so many things are there, or the culture from which some your customer has come for this design of product project, so that you have to understand, and then you will get the idea about the barrier. And again, the legal requirement in each of the country, each of the region may vary, or sometimes perceptions also vary. So sometimes it may not be bad from the legal point of view, but it may be from bad from the people perspective point of view. And that these things also we have to include, I guess. And next point, that is stimulation, the action of agents on our physical or emotional condition. The presence of stimuli produces the response. If you want to get, like, if you may go to the like for getting the feedback, but you will not get directly feedback. Like suppose I have to develop some product for the farmers. In one visit you may not get the feedback. You will have to maybe build some rapport. You may have to involve the local agencies and maybe discuss language. If you are talking in Hindi or English, they may not give you the idea. If you talk with them maybe in the regional language, they may give answer. So and some stimulus, so you may start saying sometimes, like, my company has developed this, etc., and then you will start getting the feedback. These are called as a stimulation. Can someone give me feedback in chat box that my audio, video, and PPTs are coming properly to you, which will give me some 1 minute break. And after this, if you have some questions, you can ask. Hello. Okay, good. So a lot of people are giving whether my speed of talking is good, sometimes because of packet loss. So otherwise I will reduce my speed. Okay, good. Thank you. So that was short break for me. Let us continue. Next point is information gathering. So when conducting research, information can be classified into two categories. One may be quantitative and qualitative. This helps to define the size of target market and its characteristics. So some of the information you will have to get it in quantitative form. Some of the information you will have to get the in a qualitative form. So how to collect this information? And there are set experienced people have developed various type of processes. One may be you can see the statistical survey, or you will have to think about sampling, how much sample should be there, whether this sample is sufficient or not. Then opinion poll, quantitative market research, or sometimes you will have to hire some experienced agency to do the research. The questionnaires, you will have to decide the questionnaire. And then maybe sometimes omnibus survey, this asks question in a regular shared monthly survey. So like regular surveys also you'll have to understand. And sometimes if you are taking like modifying existing product, you will have to ask the question about your product. Further, you will get tons and tons of information, tons and tons of data. But if you won't convert that data into information, into wisdom, then that data or that information or that feedback collected will not be good. And that's why you have to learn to convert it into pictorial form, so that your team will able to understand that data. Like you may say, sir, there are 10,000 feedback forms, can you see how much work I have done? But unless until you present the right information, unless until you extract the information, the required information for the product development, it is that kind of efforts are useless. And that's where the diagram techniques are important. For example, here you can see this is like a scatter plot, and this is like these are like a Venn diagram, and there may be some bar chart, pie chart, etc. You can present your the data and information collected. This is like one of the important tool. For example, when I was doing research, or maybe at undergraduate level, we used to just do the analysis and present the data in the deterministic format. Thereafter we realized that the information we should also take into account about the uncertainties and kind of variations into account, and we have to not only present the information in the deterministic format, but we have to present the information in the statistical format also, so that what kind of variation will be there, which are the influential factor, etc., that with these diagrams or pictures will keep on representing. So these were the tools until now. Whatever tools I have presented, that were related to feedback, research stage related tools. Now we will understand the idea generation tools. Once a design brief has been defined and research, the idea generation or ideate stage sees the concept created that may solve the design problem. So here this is like you have to take in a go in a divergence mode, let ideas flows, and for that how ideas will come, what are the tools to create the idea amongst your team or with yourself, so that we will understand. So first one is the basic design direction. So starting from a given point, often the design of existing or competitive product or brands or organizations. Suppose you want to do something, let's say I want to maybe launch my mobile design. So will I just start thinking, oh, mobile means what, it is required for communication, what should be its shape, whether it should be round, rectangular, or we will collect different companies, maybe iPhone, Nokia, and Samsung, and several competitors mobiles, and start studying. So basically what we do is we will have some given point or starting point. So designer can think in a specific direction in order to generate new ideas from the existing design, and there are ways to do that. You can, there are three ways you can understand. One is diversions, convergence, and transformation. So these are the three stages we have to understand. So first of all, you have to make it go into divergence mode, moving away in different direction from the common point. Also it is also called as branching out. Think more, think more, yes, can you think more, can you think different than this, can you more, more, and then when you get maybe 1,000 different solutions or 10,000 different solutions, you will have to shortlist those solutions. Then what you can do is, that is, you can apply the second approach, that is called as convergence, coming together two three more. You can say, Mr. Anand, Mr. Gopal, Mr. Praveen, your three ideas look quite similar, we can put it in one category. 1 2 3 4 5 and 15 17 19 solutions are quite similar, let me group them, and likewise you start putting it into convergence form, bringing together, coming together. You can say now they are closely matching, but in your idea this is different, in your idea this is different, in your idea this is different. Can we mix together and make a one new thing? That is the stage called as a convergence. And one more stage is called as a transformation, like a qualitative change in appearance or characteristic. So you are completely transforming the kind of solution, that is called as a transformation stage. So further we should ask, will the design solution will be, will the design solution be different or similar? We have to keep on asking question. Will it stand out or blend in with the competitors? So what is mean by the second question we will first think. For example, usually if you see all the mobiles look same manner, and if someone says no, my mobile should be different, like if you can see my video, I'm showing you some bottle, so my mobile should be like this, or my mobile should be like this, whether it will be accepted? No. So that's the very difficult, and that's why it has to be like a blend. It should stand out, but it should not be so drastically different that customers will be afraid of taking that. And even though you bring such new design totally different than all other our competitor or the current trend, then are you ready to take risk, whether the positive factors are far better than the negative factor? That kind of things we will have to understand, and that's where we can think of these 3 pointers related to this question. That is, first point is called as USP, unique selling point. So you have to answer what is the USP of your product. So if you see, like lot of water filters were coming, and then uh, like they had, like, what you call, alkaline water. Someone brought some USP. Someone said, like, my filter will give you the warning when the filter is not, or some kind of contaminated water is coming, or when water, this candle is there, filter candle, its life gets worse. So or someone said, maybe design related USP I will bring. So or someone said, maybe I will bring some kind of organic products. So someone brought like charcoal and all these things. So all sorts of USPs people try to bring into their design. So please understand, design and research, what we do, the kind of conventional research, they are totally, I will say, different. When we go into design process, there we are going with assumption that already all the inventions are there, most of the inventions are there in my hand, and now I have to group up the inventions and make best use of existing solutions to provide the complete blend of product. So that is what we do here. We rarely do kind of scientific research, we can say. Unique selling point is the combination of the values and attributes that differentiate a company or product from all other similar companies or products. Sometimes you will see people take the name of company. This company's product means this is bound to be there. So such connection companies try to maintain. So such attributes they try to maintain. So sometimes by looking at attribute, people will able to guess or identify the company. That's how you have to work on the USP. Clustering, like combining the features to blend in the coverage with the visual image presented by others in a peer group, can be created to stand out from them. For example, suppose I want to open a coffee shop. Okay. So uh, like in a Pune, let us say, in Pandharpur we don't have such isolated zone. Some kind of markets are there. Tulsi market is there, Tulsi Bagh or something. So there are such shops, selective shops are there. Maybe some ornament shops are there. And if you open such shop in somewhere, some kind of, let's say, Kharadi, where this zone is identified for our IT companies. You are opening shop somewhere in that place. So these things will not work, and that's where you'll have to understand the phenomena of clustering. It should blend. It should not look odd. That's what we have to identify. Maybe in Pandharpur there is like some kind of station road where a lot of cloth shops are there, and instead of opening my cloth shop in that road, I'm opening somewhere some isolated odd place. Then there could be problem that we have to understand, that is called as a clustering. Inclusive design, so this is very important. This aims to increase the social equality and ensures that the product, services, and environments are accessible to all people. Can I make, for the example is nano car, or maybe some kind of other products, etc. Or recently I was watching some hosiery, maybe Lux or some company, they have changed the story where the queen saves the king, or what do you call, princess saves the prince. They have modified the story. Some kind of such inclusiveness can be done in this product. So that, so in India we were not sensitive, like what do you call, Divyang and all these activities. Our honorable prime minister brought in the design of the systems and maybe processes, etc. We were when I was in Korea in 2017, sorry, 2007, I found like they were very sensitive. They had special toilets, maybe arrangements in the buses, and even the kind of what do you call, barrier free environment and all that. And I used to think, oh, how, whether so many people are there with such disabilities. That question I used to get, because I had gone from India to South Korea, and that time I used to surprised to see that environment. And when I came back here in 2008, somewhere I guess 2010, 11, AICT also started, and government also started imposing that kind of requirement in the education. At least I come from education institute, so education institutes and other places, public places. So this initiative we will have to take, and we have to be sensitive about such issues also when we are making the product. And that's where this then we will go to the themes of thinking. Sometimes when we have to get different ideas, then we can create this ideation stage by giving different themes. Designer often have to face the challenge of fitting large quantities of information formats into limited space. You get lot of information, and which one to include? So if you search in Google, our the ICT related work was advertised by Sony. Maybe in chat box I will share. If you put it in YouTube, ICT and Sweri, you will see the video. 4-minute video was created by the Sony company on our work. But I remember these people, the team of creative team had come from Delhi, and they were with us for about you can say 4 days for understanding the problem, writing story, and so many things they did. And then recording was done for about I have shared that link. So recording, after this talk you can see. So a recording was done for at least 4 days, and thereafter they made 4-minute story. So after collecting so much data, so much information, they made a 4-minute story. Whereas when we start doing some work, we collect 4-minute information and try to present it in 40 minutes. So that should not happen. That we have to understand. So we have to go first in the divergence mode, and then you go into convergence mode. So here we are slowly trying to move in the convergence mode. So what are the themes we can take into account? Here I have noted a few. You can invent some more. Keep it short and simple. Top down and bottom up approach. Focus is one more theme. What we do in the focus: select only the key message elements as the focus for the design. And there is a Occam's razor is another principle. This states that the elements that are not really needed should be pared back to produce something simpler, and in doing so, the risk of introducing inconsistencies, ambiguities, and redundancies will be reduced. So this is one more principle you can take. For few more principles are there. We can quickly go through here. I have to explain a lot of tools. So I will I'm introducing. You can take note of these tools. Maybe if we can create shared folder, and whatever PPTs come, I'm going to share these PPTs as well as book from which I got this information. Very nice book. So Python philosophy is one more thing you can use. What is Python philosophy? It says beautiful is better than ugly, simple is better than complex, sparse is better than dense, readability counts, practicality beats purity, and refuse the temptation to guess. So these are the pointers you can consider in Python philosophy. Text minimization. So some of the things are related to posters or print media, but you can consider even sometimes our content development also you can use text minimization. Text should be kept to minimum. Then scale, ensure that the text and graphics are sufficient scale to be comfortably read. Then ergonomics is one more thing you have to understand. When human is involved, the comfort, discomfort, minimum discomfort should be there. White space, you might have seen some of the advertisement, complete white and only 3 to 4 words. So white space is required. It helps the viewers to focus attention on them, giving a greater impact. It will help into focus on a particular thing. That's why white space is important. Graphic impact, particular graphic we have to create which will grab the attention. User centric design, user centered design, designers to foresee how users likely to use resulting product. And that's where the prototyping phase, we give that prototype to handle, we walk through, we make a tour. Like now that 3D graphical tools are available where you can walk through the this thing. And sometimes uh, you have to go beyond users thinking. Like when we had started using mobile, there were mechanical buttons, then there came some kind of very smooth touch buttons, and then uh, came someone, maybe Steve Jobs thought, I guess, first, what will happen if there are no buttons? And then someone thought, like, why to even touch screen also if I can give voice command? Someone said, like, instead of giving voice command, can I give like gestures? uh, this kind of user experience beyond even you what users think, you have to go. And there is one more philosophy, that is Tim Taudi. uh, what it says is there is a more than one way to do. Unfortunately, in our education system, what we have been taught, or whatever our written question and answer sessions, what we have been taught, one question, one answer. So if we, there is a perfect answer, out of out mark. If there is some new answer, then you will not get mark. So that's where, like, we are killing the creativity. And that's why we should slowly learn to ask the questions which will have multiple answers. For example, design, maybe building design, maybe product design. There could not be one answer, there could be multiple answers. So you have to go into that mode, and then only creativity will start flowing. And that's where you have to remember there is a more than one way to do it. And that's where you have to ask such ambiguous question. As a teacher, we should learn to ask ambiguous question, and you should also start, you have to be very cautious while responding to your students also, by giving the response to what answers they might have given. Even wrong answer is given, you should try to find what is positive in that. And that's where sometimes people ask me, sir, you are from civil engineering, how you have developed so many things in mechanical engineering, how you could develop the products in agricultural engineering, how did you file the patent in biomedical engineering? Then I answer, thank God I was not with that background. So for example, if I would have been from mechanical engineering, the knowledge which I had gained would have restricted me from thinking without bound. And that's where the design thinking comes. You don't, if you want to implement design thinking into vehicle engineering, or maybe automobile engineering, or maybe education sector, or maybe food industry, you don't have to be expert from that industry. So this, whatever tools we are learning through this workshop, if we start using these tools systematically, then I guess it will take you forward. Let me go to the next very important point: inspiration and references. Nothing is independent. So here we have to understand the incremental change and drastic change. What you have to understand is incremental change and drastic change. So what is mean by incremental change? Sometimes when we do maybe in the organization or maybe as a researcher, we keep on adding delta and keep on publishing book, etc., or products. And the way I told you, Steve Jobs did no buttons at all. It's called as a drastic change. Someone started with maybe from mechanical to leather, soft touch buttons, rounded buttons, flip buttons, and all that. But someone thought, oh, drastic change, no inspiration, totally new. So are you thinking in that direction, or to begin with you want to take inspiration? So how do you get inspiration? Inspiration is essential in any creative activity, and design is a no exception for that. In that you have to understand 2 points: one is resolve and another is resonate. What is resolve? To decide, to bring to a conclusion or end. So you have so many thoughts coming in your mind, so you have to resolve, get a solution or select out of it. A design idea is resolved when it is worked up into a final form. So that is the resolve stage. So at that stage also you need inspiration and references. Resonate: to be received or understood, to come out across well. The design resonate when the viewers understand, appreciate the various aspects of message communicated. Some features you have added in your product or your design, and that should resonate the user. Otherwise, if that is not creating some kind of impact, you might have seen Google launches so many new features, and some of them get vanished because they are not able to resonate the user, whereas some of the what you call ideas will resonate drastically. And that's how you can see the maybe Google Calendar, maybe Google Drive, so many other things that has resonated and created impact. This so many speakers have maybe introduce a bit about the brainstorming for the idea generation. So let us touch upon to the some of the points about the brainstorming. So brainstorming is a creative group approach to develop ideas and originating solution during the ideate phase. Okay, but sometimes if you don't follow the rules of brainstorming, then brainstorming may become useless, or it may discourage your design team. And that's why you can see there are two way of doing it. It's a one is open brainstorming, and another is written and then spoken type of brainstorming. I'm going to discuss about one. First we'll discuss about open brainstorming, where we have to set some of the rules. I guess when you will implement this brainstorming sessions, then you should follow that. Do not criticize, keep the process manager free, avoid resolve. Some people will try to resolve the some kind of heat generated. So let it flow. Ask them not to fight, but let everyone has got their opinion. Let them keep that opinion, because finally collectively we can take decision. But in the during brainstorming process, don't say this is right and this is wrong. Work to the target. Clock watch, so you have to keep time, and accordingly you give time. Maybe suppose 60 minutes is there, and maybe 20 10 ideas, 20 ideas you can give. Maybe make teams and give time. Allocation is also important. Let go. So you should not keep grudges, etc., and be inclusive. Allow everyone to talk. These are some of the brainstorming rules. And sometimes to make it further, apart from this, you have to like, as an individual, maybe you can uh, include some of these technique. Maybe scribble, session participant write their ideas on sticky notes, then say it, then shout about the ideas out and slap, and finally stick their written notes on the board. So you can give some kind of big uh, sticky notes where the group can create idea, and someone will explain briefly and maybe show the final idea in the form of picture, drawing, or graffiti form. So that is the good thing to have communication, lot of information in a short time. Next, in ideation phase, what you have to understand is value. Value is a term often used in design. A designer adds value to a brand through the creation of visual identity, for instance. But what exactly does value mean in the design thinking context? So what we have to understand from the design, what value, how will you add the value? So these are the 3 pointers you can remember for adding the value. Are you adding aesthetic value, prestige, and significance? These 3 points you can consider. Aesthetic, all of you know, it's the appreciation of beauty or good taste, particularly in reference of art, design, and style. So are you adding the artistic value? Prestige, esteem, high standing, or level respect with which one is regarded by other. Prestige is the value content in a brand. So you have to understand what design you are making is going to add a value in future. So that's how you have to keep in your mind that whatever I will do, it is going to add value to me as a designer. Whatever work, whatever presentation, for example, I'm giving presentation in this workshop, so it will have it will have influence on three things. One, as a Dr. Pawar, whether he's a good speaker, whether he's able to present ideas properly, or he's just coming and bluffing there. That's one thing. Second, it will add value to the kind of FDPs organized by this civil department of Sweri, or overall this FDP has got is giving some value. It will add in the value of FDP. And third, for the longer period, it will add in the value of brand of our institute, that is Sweri. So that's how you have to look. If you bring such thought in your mind, then I guess it will help you to generate a new idea. Significance is subjective and refers to how important something is to the individual. So when you are adding something, is that what is its a significance, what I am doing, that you have to keep thinking, and that will help you in generating idea. Inclusion, now some of the minor points I will discuss. One is inclusion. So throughout the design process, it is important to remember who the target audience is. So as the process of design thinking is very long, it involves so many stages. In the process, we may forget who is the target audience. So that's why inclusion point is very important, and to consider how design ideas might resonate with the audience, how the audience will keep taking place. And that's why some designer or some people ask the mother's taste or wife's taste. Means whatever they do, they show it to their mother. Sometimes mother may not criticize, or but you can show it to your spouse. Instead of, I say wife, I will correct, spouse, you can say it to, show it to that design or process whatever you have developed to your spouse, and she will criticize, and you take that criticism and understand something new. Can you add in that? That's the one thing. Or maybe in the design process, if I get the time, I have taken the example where I will tell you how we have involved the users from right from the beginning stage itself. Then next is sketching, very important. Like sketches, instead some people will not able to read the text, but sketches will give a lot of information, and that sometimes becomes a triggering point also. By looking at one sketch, another person may get idea, and that may come out nicely. So sketches, most designers sketch in order to quickly put the idea on paper, as sketching can convey visual idea for the design or design element very rapidly, and it can be used in many parts of design process, indeed throughout it. So sketches are very important. Then next is presenting idea. So like you have to keep on iterative, as some of the speakers have already told. The this design thinking is iterative process, so you have to keep on presenting the some kind of preliminary designs to the your customer or maybe your team. And if you are not able to present it properly, it may create problem. Can someone help me? Like, your idea may be good, but if presentation is not good, then you will be in trouble. So please understand that. So sometimes good ideas may get lost in bad presentation, and sometimes it may be that bad bad ideas may get good suggestions through presentation, and it may come out very nicely. And that's where people say that if you like wrap gold in like maybe some dirty paper or some dirty bag, and try to sell it on road, uh, do you think your gold ring will be purchased by someone? Instead of that, your imitation jewelry wrapped in very nice paper and kept in some jeweler shop under so much some kind of disco light and some very nice aesthetics and musics, etc. So that there you see that that imitation jewelry will also get lot of value. For example, some of my UK friends have joined, so there I brought some this silver jewelry from that shop. And then after coming here, my wife told me you can get it in half the price. But I said the location and kind of presentation I impressed, and I purchased it. So that's how the presentation has got importance. Next, thinking in images. So the images conveys 1,000 words, graphic conveys 1,000 words, as all of we know, and that helps in connecting with other designer thing, other people also. That's why thinking in images is also important. Next tool is appropriation. When a designer incorporates or annexes an element from another design in a piece of work, this is known as appropriation. So as we told, inspiration stage, we get some idea, we have to, without like kind of copying completely, as we are connected with each other, we have to get this inspiration. So how to get appropriations? There are various stages, various ways of doing it, so we will understand that. First one is imitation is the copy. One, you can start with imitation, reproduction, adaptation of an existing design. So you can sometimes see original inventor may not get the credit. So that's where the example is there of Bisleri water bottle, packaged water, right? So the initially, I guess, Bisleri launched the packaged bottle, but now you can see, do you think Bisleri may be at the top? No, so many other packaged water bottles have come into market, and they might have acquired these things. Maybe some other example they give about WhatsApp. So earlier also maybe BlackBerry had the kind of messaging app, etc., and it was quite good at that time. But thereafter, it is not a new idea; it is copied idea, but presented in a different form, and you can see the WhatsApp. So these are the some of the examples of imitation and copying. So you should at least learn to like copy and paste, but you have to be very careful while copying. You can see whatever most of the cut this presentation I have copied from a book which I'm going to share. There is no I will not hide, I have to give credit, but you can see the way I have modified it. Modifying an original design to suit another purpose is known as an adaptation. That's very good. So for example, you have learned something from the what you call bio inspired designs, you can say, from the nature inspired design, or something is there in the computer science, I am bringing it in civil engineering, or there is a something in civil engineering, like lot of things, because I work with lot of mechanical engineers, I copy those tools in civil engineering, and sometimes I get credit, and I could publish this. So that's the cross cultivation of idea is another way of improving the idea. Then paradox, an idea or statement that includes conflicting ideas. So sometimes you can bring the conflicting ideas. Distortion, an optical phenomena or deformation of shape or object, so you can have that as a while copying, you can do that. Homage, designer can express their honor or respect for a particular work, so you can take the particular work and take it forward. So that is one more thing you can say. Next is personification. So what is personification? A design often personifies a particular aim, attributes, characteristics, company, product, or program into recognizable graphic view. So there you can see the 2 points. One could be designer centric or character centric. So for example, if you see the Disney World, Disney World is there is a no specific designer. It is a character centric. Which are the characters? Maybe Mickey Mouse, and maybe I don't remember much. The Don Uncle Tuppy and although I have stopped watching cartoon, but I remember some of the cartoons of my childhood. I don't know, ninth standard onwards I started watching TV, but still I remember. So these are character centric, so there may not be a specific designer. And then second one is designer centric. You might have seen that some designers or some cook, we take the names of some very famous cook. So everything is surrounded around that designer or around that person. So that is called as a designer centric. And then you can say character centric. So that's how you have to see the things. Visual metaphor. So like for example, various logos are designed. Like here you can see this logo involves five some things are combined, or Olympics logo, and this visual metaphors are there, some dot and some picture, and this can also come in the design. Basically these are about visual designs, but it's good to take inspiration from whatever I'm talking in the your product design, process design, and system design. Then next comes is modifications. As we told copying, you can also do the modifications. What are the terms you can understand in the modification? One is intervention, you can have omission, apposition. These are very simple English words, so you can use while doing the modifying the existing product. जैसे हम बोलते हैं हमें पूछ थी पहले, बाद में वो पूछ चली गई. So it was like kind of omission in our design. uh, Intervention could be there, and then apposition, or sometimes we are combining like in mobile. what are the things involved in that? Calling is involved, some kind of TV is involved, maybe what else? Writing email, then alarm system, storage, notebook. So many things are there, and that's like a two-in-one type. So we have included all in one in the design modification. So if you start thinking about each of these tools, you will start getting the new idea. Break. You can keep me telling feedback. Some of you are giving good feedbacks. Whether my voice is reaching properly. Do you have any question? Uh, Anything, speed, etc. You can ask me or write me in the text chat box. Otherwise, I will go ahead. Okay, good. Thank you, Amit Kumar. Thank you, Vinodji. Okay, so let's go ahead. Thinking in a shapes. So these are some of the you can see trigger points. Now here after what I'm doing is maybe it's related to more or less towards art, but what I will say is sometimes we the teachers or we the academicians are not good in business. So we have to teach our students how to earn money, and we have to tell them the value of what knowledge we are delivering. So that's why I usually say, don't run behind the money, money should run behind you. So आप पैसे के पीछे मत भागो, पैसा आपके पीछे भागना चाहिए. So you should create, keep on creating value. If when there is a no value, or if you are not creating value, or if there is a no purpose, then you should not invest your time. If you ask me, sir, why are you investing time on design thinking? I got free audience, I got some kind of stage. Now this is my department presentation, so I'm delivering free. Maybe I will create some more presentations, maybe some paid course I will offer, something like that may come out. So that's how you have to keep on thinking in a business model point of view. That will keep on inspiring you. It's not just about the money, but it will also create a inspiration. So let's think in a shape. When we are thinking in shapes, what are the words? Harmony, balance, shape alteration, drama, and using shapes in design. So harmony, as you can understand, it's an agreement, feeling between different elements of design. And what does this harmony do? Harmony creates the pleasing effect to the eyes, because sometimes people don't appreciate good design, but bad design can be easily recognized. That we have to understand, and that's where the harmony is important. Balance is a state of equilibrium in which no single part has a greater weight or presence than the other. So that's the balance, producing something peaceful and non-dramatic results. So that is called as a balance. So you have to understand, it's not necessary you are keeping balance and drama together. So you have to understand whether my design should have harmony and balance, or harmony and drama, or harmony and shape alteration. Shape alteration is similar shapes can be grouped together to create larger element. Drama, the use of more dynamic angular shapes can add the drama. And using shapes in design at my macro level, so you can have repetitive, maybe triangle in triangle, triangle in triangle, borders are also of triangle, and something like that. Next, here I'm going to spend more time. This is the topic of my interest, thinking in proportions. Very important. So what is mean by thinking in proportions? So before I go to other parts, you can see the human diagram. I don't know, is it, can you see the enlarged view? So that's why I say, I don't know whether you find me handsome or not, but I say I am handsome. God has created me handsome. God has created me beautiful. Why do I think I am handsome, though I'm not that what do you call, maybe color, etc., but my body proportionate are in the proportionate of golden section. So if you want to understand, once again I will elaborate by taking this diagram, and we will see other rules. For example, the the height above this part and the height below your what do you call, navel, so point, so there is a proportionate, I guess that is 1s to 1.62, that is called as a golden section. God has created like that. If that proportion is not, if if you are not in that proportionate, you are not beautiful. Maybe I'm talking from the geometry beauty. So please excuse me if I have violated some rules, but I'm talking about the God's creation. So can you see very nice number? Actually, this was invented by Leonardo da Vinci. He's my inspiration. So he was a painter, he was a designer, he had invented helicopter drawing. You can read about him. So he's my inspiration. So can you see the height proportion? Thereafter also, each of the part, the from this part to your head part and this height, there is a proportionate. From this part to this part, there is a proportionate. Again, related to height of your, or you can say length of your hand, this elbow to this and up to this joint, there is a proportionate. It is 5, 8 and 13 number, you can remember, it is easy. So and that if you do, that will give you the good shape. And lot of the great design like pyramids and all these big structures, if you see the golden, maybe Mona Lisa's picture and all that, you see all these are in the proportionate. And that's where you have to start. You Hindi, in Hindi there is a one word, I guess, bedang. It's not in proportionate. So that should not happen. And that's where when we are doing design, we have to think in proportions. So while thinking, there are some of the rules of thirds, rules of odds, golden section, and so many other rules. One of some of the important rules I have noted here. One is Fibonacci series and Renard number. So what is the rule of thirds? I can see here, you whatever your frame is there, whatever design or space, your design space is there, you can divide it into strips of 3 by 3, grid of 3 by 3, and then you can have the active spots, and on that your main object should be there. Maybe you are taking photograph or something like that, or maybe some kind of design you are doing, and there you can think of doing this. Or suppose I want to have some kind of poster design or some kind of keyboard design or something like that, there also you will see people have used this golden section rule. Next is rule of odds. An odd number of total objects we have to select. For example, here you can see there are 5 objects, and that's why if you take the 4 object, this may not get highlighted. You can try doing that, and that's how this is called as a rule of odd. And then the Fibonacci number. What is Fibonacci number? 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 plus 3 is 8, and likewise Fibonacci number. So while selecting the proportionates, you'll have to select into the Fibonacci series form. So here, that's this golden section also, there is a 5, 8 and 13 series. So that's how it links to the Fibonacci series also. That's very important. This is one of, this slide is one of the takeaway from my presentation. Next, very important, thinking in colors. You have seen the Black Lives Matter. So unfortunately, where there is no requirement, people discriminate each other by color, caste creep, so I am totally against that opinion. But colors give message, and if such, and that's where when you are making something, some design, whether color is becoming barrier, that point of view also you'll have to say whether what message you want to give. Is it creating something negative? So you have to keep on changing the hats: positive hat, negative hat, positive hat, negative hat, so that it will not create some kind of odd impact on your product. So otherwise, if you don't judge that kind of negative repercussions, it is going to harm. So for example, here blue color usually it represents uniform, reliable, safe, traditional, uh, constant, whereas pink passionate, flamboyant, attention seeking. White is related to purity, innocence, goodness, clinical. And maybe black is related to magical, dramatic, elegant, sinister, bold. Green is related to natural, foliage, plentiful, lucius, expensive. Red is related to exciting, dynamic, dramatic, and aggressive. Yellow is not there. I have used throughout the presentation yellow color. I don't know, in that book it was there, we'll understand. Brown color, maybe prototyping. Now we'll see the tools of prototyping stage. So what is prototyping? Just before the implementation stage, it is a prototyping. It is in the lab. Design is a creative discipline that can generate many solutions to a particular problem or a brief. But thinking does not stop once the workable idea has been generated. An idea or concept needs to be worked up or rendered so that it can be developed and advanced towards final results. So there may be so many. In ideation stage was divergent stage. Now prototyping stage is a converging stage. So where you'll have to, whatever ideas are coming out, so you'll have to, if it is a working model, so you'll have to give it to the customer, ask them to use, you can say beta version 1, beta version 2, beta version 3, and likewise, and through that lot of learning will come. Next is developing designs. The ideation stage will have generated various possible solutions to the brief, but design ideas need to be further developed to have more precise handle on the message that is to be communicated. So you have to check whether whatever story you are going to tell, can this designer is able to communicate the story through your prototype. Flexibility, whether design, whatever you have created, is it a flexible design so that it can appeal to broader masses, various different type of audience, different type of environment, whether that adaptiveness, flexibility is there. Design legs, very important stage, concept is there. A design legs, uh, design needs to have legs so that it can go in greater distance than originally intended. Even though I have developed something for Pandharpur to begin with, but it should have leg that someone in Rajasthan will get that ignition, or you can say that resonance, and they will start asking the whatever design we have created, they will get impressed. So that is nothing but creating the design leg. Adaptability. An adaptable design is the one that can be comfortably transferred across different formats, size, and distribution channel. 5 liter, 10 liter, 5 liter, 10 liter, 15 liter, 20 liter, maybe size difference, or maybe cost difference, or maybe some kind of movable, non-movable. It's in so these things, whether your design, can it have these adaptations? So that things we have to understand. So I will recommend you to take these pointers also: stories, flexibilities, design leg, and adaptability. These are the 4 pointers on this slide. So what are the types of prototype? prototypes. All of you know, but just we will recall. Designer can prototype a job in a different way to test or check different design ideas. We can make a model. Model is a replica of design that allow people to see in a 3 dimension. It may be sketch. Sometimes it's very costly. I cannot make a prototype. For example, Airbus 320, they had not created prototype of each and everything. Very few engine component, etc. Otherwise everything was simulated in finite element, and finally they had made a first product itself, not prototype. So sketches enables designer to rough out the basic visual ideas and positional aspects of the different design element. What you call, how you pronounce, maquette. So these are like, especially they come in the architectural design. You can see like your what you call fort, you make it for Diwali. Bring design drawing to a life and is often used in architecture to give an idea of what a building will look like within the context of location. So as compared to the, sometimes this could be in the form of drawing also, as compared to the surrounding environment, how it will look like. So that you have to see. Printers dummy. So if it is like a book, etc., you can have printers dummy as a prototype. Scales, are you going to make at actual scale, reduced scale, or even sometimes a large scale, in order to give detailed and reliable representation? So these are like a type of prototypes. Maybe last step, that is implementation. After prototype stage comes as a implementation. What are the tools at implementation stage? So implementation is the end of the design process and involves the physically putting into effect many of the design decisions previously taken, such as those regarding format, scale, media, and use of material. This is in relation with print media, but you can think of related to physical product or processes or systems. So here this is related to, again I'm warning, related to print, but you can think in this context in the implementation. What is the format, what is the material, what is the finish, and what are the media? So these are the points you can think. What kind of format you are using, what are the materials you are using, what are the finish, and this basically budget start playing role in the implementation stage. And then you can have a scale. Implementation thinking also needs to be considered scale challenging, related, does like are we thinking big or thinking small? So that you have to think in the form of scale. Then you have to think about series and continuity. For example, let us take an example of Bahubali movie, right? So these people might have thought about the Bahubali 2, and that's why they have created such an end, Bahubali ko kisne mara. Otherwise, and that's how the second part of their movie, they don't have to do lot of advertisement, because the first part of movie itself did the advertisement of second parts. And that's how, if you are having the series, continuous series of products, that's how you can create a requirement, whether it is a standalone piece or part of series. So that you have to think over. So now I have maybe half an hour. So I will take one example. Actually, this is done by our architect Deepak Konda. His talk is there, I guess, on last day. Very good designer. I'm doing his advertise. He should thank me sometime. He has designed our institute, a lot of architect part, and also my house also he has designed. So I will tell the how design, though I was not at that time understanding what is meant by design thinking, but now I gave thought, and I thought, can we present the story of this building which has been created in our campus. That facility is rural human and resource development facility. Actually in 2000 12 we signed MOU with Bhabha Atomic Research Center, and the idea was to have some kind of training center for the technologies which are developed for the rural masses, or for developing rural entrepreneurs, because BRC, a lot of security restrictions are there. The training personnel will not able to go there and take training, so they wanted to have a place which is near to rural part, as we are located in a village called Gopalpur, and that's how the BRC and we signed MOU, and then we got the fund to establish this center. We got around 4.5 crore rupees fund from government of Maharashtra to establish this center, and then we wanted to create this building, and initially we took help of a big architect. We had a lot of meetings, etc., and that design was scrapped because funding agency had very limited budget. Then we took our own architect, Konda Saab, father of Deepak Konda, and she understood. So I was sometimes curious. He used to spend lot of time in discussing with all the stakeholders, and he used to send lot of sketches. So I used to think, why he's not giving everything in one go? And then now once we see design, a lot of ideation phases, etc., are required, and that's where she discussed with various stakeholders. For example, if I tell you the this part, what you can see, this office and recreation space was there. It was not there actually. It was a continuous space, so as to save the what you call money. But what happened, one of the scientists from BRC told, this is at lower space, so I don't want my this research center's office at lower space, otherwise it will not look good, etc. So with that suggestion, he removed these two blocks without changing the cost. He gave very beautiful separate block he attached, and then we had these labs separate, and the office and seminar complex and library separate. Then further, the Konda Sahab discussed with farmers. Why? Because this space was not for the teachers, but it was the for the farmers. It was training center for farmers and rural people, and that's why he wanted to use material and the sitting arrangements, etc., and the open spaces, etc., so that the farmers should not feel like they are coming into very some rich place. They should feel they are in a village, and they should feel like they are at home. And that was the idea of our architect, and that's how you can see material used was in low cost by giving different angles. So you can see here, I will show you. He has, now it is not there in this picture, but here there he has made like a rural type of sitting places, and you can see the big lot of space he has created, where we have added now library, and then farmers come together, they roam around, have chit chat, have discussion. Then there is a small meeting place, our office is there, and magazine, etc., are kept. And then when they want to go for the serious business, etc., because we wanted like those who are coming just for introductory purposes, they should not go to get connected with the serious businesses, labs, etc., where protocols, etc., has to be followed. So that's why these two separate spaces should be created. So these things and these iterative, and he has also made use of the different elevation levels. You can see this was at the low level, and this was at the higher level. That's how we have to go through different spaces, and several drawings were exchanged, and this is how you can see this building has come out, and we could reach to more than 2000 farmers. And this outside space also we have utilized. This is still old picture, but lot of solar etc panels etc can be seen here. And you can see the top view. This was immediately after construction, but you can see basically this was a useless space in our campus. It was a garbage space, and when I wanted the space, then when I asked our organization, they suggested space which was not of use. So from the hostel, a lot of waste used to come here, and then we constructed a biogas plant where all the waste started going. And then you can see here, you when you have to bring the heavy machinery etc, there is a side ramp has been created. You don't have to pass through this office space, and then there is a separate space for this etc is created. So all these things will come through lot of ideation, inspiration, ideation, and then implementation. Three eyes you have seen repeatedly. That's I guess all my points I have covered. We have 20 minutes to ask questions. You can note down this book. You can get, maybe if required, I will share the link of this book. Give me 1 minute. I will share you can download it. If you have any questions, you can ask. I'm done with my presentation. I hope I'm not expert in this. I am also a student like you. So I tried to give something by reading these books in this lockdown. Thank you for your time and patience. Bhaganagare sir.
So I request participants, if they are having any doubt, they can ask to Professor Dr. P.M. Power.
Again, I'm saying I'm not that expert, but we can think together the answer. Let questions flow.
Pawar sir.
Yes, sir.
Sudarshan Nathu here. I was listening to your lecture today.
Okay.
Almost, I think, most of the thing I could. It was a nice presentation. I liked it.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Very good. And in fact, actually, this will help me for tomorrow's, because you have already set the right stage.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And because as I said, I am not going to discuss anything regarding this theoretical part. So good.
Yeah, good.
Liked it.
Yeah, good. Thank you. A lot of feedbacks you are giving. So please check the chat, chat box where I am giving the link of this book. It's a lot of graphics examples are there which I have not included due to time constraint. And maybe if you include lot of things, sometimes it is very difficult to give answer. So I have learned in my over the period, over my this experience, that you should share in slide which you can what do you call which you can explain, and that's what I did, I guess. So you can ask if you have any other questions. So that's a good thing. You can keep on thinking. I will recommend, by the time someone asks question, you can stop me. I will continuously keep talking, as I have slot up to 2:42. What I'm saying is slot up to 3 p.m. So what I'm trying to say here is for your final year project, MTech projects, PhD projects, so you can use these tools and start thinking the problem in that direction. Whatever complex problems, sometimes like I will tell you, we have solved very complicated problem. Though I was not introduced with design thinking, this whatever center I told you, rural human and resource development, I have shared one of the link of video. Similar link I will share you, where I have published a paper with our Indian scientist Anil Kakodkar sahab, and there we have established his dream, that is the silage concept we have established. And in that case also, like we were not aware what is the requirement of farmer, and what are the instruments and how we will go ahead, and how to spend money what we had received, 4.5 crore rupees. It was very difficult because maybe I was not with agricultural background, but I typically applied the design thinking approach. It was not necessary that I should have the expertise from the that domain, but because of this activity, this kind of reading, it helped me in giving systematic approach. I have shared my article, which was published as a philosophical article. You should read that, and you will see how complex problem where human. I like, if you ask me, in my childhood my mother used to take me to farm, and that was the thing which I used to hate. I don't want to go to farm, but I could work with a good salary from my organization for about 4 to 5 years, and now also I'm working on a lot of solutions for the farmers, and that is because of such thinking. You have to keep it in mind that I have to give good solution, no compromise. Keep on thinking, and keep reading from the other domains. So like mostly you read from the art, you can read from your local books,